Okay, now it says, now you're writing an equation from a parabola. That's significantly more difficult than writing an equation for a line, okay? It's not as crappy as that one you did where you had to do the y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. You had to find the a, b, c, okay? It's not as difficult as that, but it's more difficult than the line, which wouldn't take much, okay? Now, when we see a parabola on a graph, we want to write it in vertex form. If you forgot what vertex form is, it's when I have y equals, then a parentheses to the second power, and then you put x, you start with x minus every single time. Now, there sometimes is a number here known as the a value, okay? And then you have a plus outside. So you want to format it like that before you even start when you see that it's a parabola. Y equals blank, that represents a, and then parentheses x minus, and then to the second plus. Okay, now the first thing I need to do, I'm going to put a number there and a number there. That is based off the vertex point, okay? So that's left 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, okay? So negative 4. And that's what you put, subtract from the x. But when you subtract a negative 4, it's like you're adding 4. So if we have a negative there, okay, we need to switch the minus to plus. Okay, and then how many squares down are we? We're down 3, negative 3. Okay, so negative 3 is what we put outside of there. So that isn't hard to find what goes there and what goes there. It's just a vertex point. But remember, that starts off as subtraction, but then if you have a negative, it goes to addition of the number. Okay, now the A. The A is the most difficult thing to find in the problem. You have to write a base formula. And you're going to write y equals, and I'll explain what these are here in a second. A, parentheses, x minus h to the second power plus k. Okay. Remember, I'm looking for the a value, so every other variable in here has to go. Now you're wondering, what the heck is h and k? It's your vertex, h, k. Why they call it h and k, I have no idea. So h and k, we're going to put those where those are at. But we got to then also get rid of the y and the x. So here's how you get rid of the y and x. You pick another point on the grid, and I have it right there. You can pick that one or that one. I'll go with this one, okay? And this is going to serve as my x and y value. So that point is left 2, so negative 2, and then up 1, okay? Now I have the 4 variables I need. So y is 1. And then a is what I'm solving for. And then x is negative 2 minus h. H is negative 4, so if that's a negative, we switch that to a plus 4 to the second power plus k. K is negative 3. Okay. Now we have a lot of simplifying to do on this side. Okay. First we got to find what negative 2 plus 4 is, which is 2, and then we got to take 2 to the second power, which is 4. And then a times 4 is 4a. Now we have the plus negative 3 there. Now I can solve for a pretty easily. I add 3 to each side, so 1 plus 3 is 4 equals 4a, and then we divide by 4. And a equals 1, so we're going to put a 1 right there. And there's the equation. Okay. Again, if I have to look at a graph, I always want to write it in vertex form. Writing it in standard ABC form is not going to work when you're looking at a graph. I mean, you could with the 3 points, but I mean, this is a lot easier. It's a lot quicker. Okay, so parabola, y equals blank with a, parentheses, x starts off as minus, and then close it to the second plus something else. Okay, we're going to find this number and this number first. That's the vertex point. Okay. So my vertex, I'm forward 1, 2, 3, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that 3 right there, we put that after the minus. I don't switch that to plus because it's just 3, not negative 3. And then I go 5. Okay, now we got to get the a. So we write y equals a, parentheses, x minus h to the second power plus k. Okay. Now, you got to get rid of every variable but the a, okay? The h and k is the vertex point. Why they choose h and k, I have no idea, okay? And then you got to pick another point for x and y, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. Okay, so I see y, I replace that with 2. Remember, every variable but the a has to go. Then x, I will replace that with 7. Minus h is 3, 7 minus 3 to the second, plus k is 5. Okay, now you have to simplify the right side. So 7 minus 3 is 4, and 4 to the second power is 16. Now a times 16 is 16a, and then plus 5. So then I subtract the 5. 2 minus 5 is negative 3, equals 16a. Then I divide by 16, and negative 3/16 is your a value, okay? And that is the equation of that graph. By the way, if you want to check your answer, here's what you can do. You go negative 3, ABC 16, parentheses, x minus 3. I'll pick 7 minus 3. Close it, raise it to the second power, and then plus 5. And that's 2. That's my y value. Okay, so I know that equation is correct, no matter how goofy it might look. And some of them do look fairly goofy here. Okay, y equals a, then x minus, and then we'll to the second, plus, and then another number. So we want to find out the number we're subtracting from x and the number we're adding. And that's our vertex. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, okay, so 3, and that's a number I subtract from x. And then the vertex is down, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, okay, so I will add a negative 3 behind there. Now the a, again, y equals a, parentheses, x minus h to the second plus k. That's the format you use to find your a. Okay, so the h and the k is my vertex, hk. And then but you also got to replace the y and the x. That's why you pick another point here, and that's going to be your y and x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6, and then negative 1. Okay, so that's my x, that's my y. Now I just put those in for the variables. So y is negative 1. Then a stays because that's what we're solving for. Then x is replaced with 6. And h is 3, so it's 6 minus 3 to the second plus k, which is negative 3. Okay, 6 minus 3 is going to be 3. 3 to the second's 9. A times 9 is 9a. And then plus negative 3, or minus 3, same thing. So we add 3 to both sides. That's 2 equals 9a. Then I divide both sides by 9, and 2/9 is going to be my leading coefficient. So there's your answer, okay? Right there. That's how it's formatted. Okay, so again, if I want to check my answer, I take 2/9, parentheses, x minus 3. So I'll put in 6 for x. 6 minus 3 raised to the second power plus negative 3. And it's negative 1, just like it should be. Okay, well, again, once you get the rhythm down, it ain't that bad. Y equals a, parentheses, x minus to the second plus something else, okay? So we want to find the number we're subtracting and the number we're adding, which is found by the vertex point. Okay, so I'm right, this vertex point right here, I'm forward 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4. And I'm down 1, so negative 1. Okay, now we got to find the a. Again, y equals a, parentheses, x minus h to the second plus negative, or plus k. Okay. Again, this is h, this is k. Okay. So, and then I also need an xy point right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So forward 6 and down 4, so negative 4. And that's my x and y. Okay. Again, HK is an XY point, but it's your vertex, so you label it differently. Okay, so the y in the front is replaced with negative 4. Then you got A. Then you got x, which is 6, minus h, which is 4, minus 4 to the second power, plus k, which is negative 1. Okay, so 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 to the second is 4. Now, a times 4 is 4a. Then plus negative 1. Then we add 1. Or no, why did I put an a there? That's just negative 4. Plus 1, so negative 3 equals 4a. And then I divide by 4. And then negative 3/4 is my a value. Okay.